Hey guys, what is going on? Crunch here and welcome to a brand new video. So this is my new updated 2015 flipping guide. I mentioned in my last video, I think it was the Q&A a couple of days ago, that I was basically going to be making a new one of these because I've received a lot of comments and questions basically asking how you flip and all those type of things. So I just thought I'd make a video on it just to sort of clear it up. So yeah, let's go ahead and begin. To start off, the only requirement you're going to need to flip is a decent amount of money to start off with, to start flipping and buying items, of course. And I started flipping with 5 mil, so I've just sort of been growing it since then, and that's why I've actually made my 5 to 50 mil series, in case you guys haven't obviously seen it or you don't know of it. I made that just to pretty much show that you can actually get a nice cash stack in the end from a small amount of money to start off with, so it's quite nice for you guys who obviously don't have as much money. And for those of you who don't actually have 5 mil yet, you can of course flip with whatever you have. It's not a massive deal, it doesn't mean you can't do it, it's not a requirement, but it just sort of restricts you, I guess, on what type of items you can actually buy, because obviously normally the rule goes the higher price the item, the bigger the margins and the more profit you can make, so it just sort of restricts you. But for this video I'm going to be using a slightly cheap item anyway, so it's not a massive deal for you guys who want to start flipping and making some money. So the item for this video is actually going to be the Staff of Light. Now I've actually found these really, normally they're actually really good, and I've used them I think in every single flipping episode I've ever made, so you know, they're quite a trustworthy item, they're reliable to sort of make money from normally, and they do have a nice margin between the buy and sell price, so they're pretty good items. And a margin, for those of you who don't know, is just pretty much like a fancier word for difference between the prices. And firstly, you'll need to find this out before obviously jumping straight into flipping, just in case the profit isn't worth it and you don't want to lose money and stuff like that. Because if you go ahead and buy loads of items and you go to sell them back and they're actually not worth it, then it's just a bit of a waste of time. So to do this, all you need to do is just buy one of the items that you actually want to sell. Normally about 10 to 15% higher than the average price is what I tend to do, just to sort of, you know, just see how far the limit is actually going to go, because normally the higher it goes or the lower percentage it goes, when you're trying to sell it back, the wider the profit you can actually make. And then of course you do want to write down this price so you don't forget it, and then just sell it back again for 10 to 15% lower and then write that down again. If they don't sell through straight away, it's not an issue. It doesn't mean they're not going to sell, they're not good items. Just keep sort of testing around and experimenting with percentages until it sort of buys through. Just be careful and don't go crazy, obviously. So for this item, as you can see, I got it for 333k and then I sold it back for 315k. Now you might get confused because obviously that's a loss right there, but that's sort of the point of flipping. You want to make a loss on the first one to sort of see how much profit you can make. So this is where it kind of gets confusing, this is where I always get questions. But what you want to do is now just simply flip those two prices over and put them on opposites. So now what you want to do is just buy it for the price that you sold it for. So for this item it's 315k, and then once that buys through, you just sell it for the price that you brought it for in the first place. So I know that it sounds a bit confusing, but it's actually quite simple once you understand it, so just test it out and hopefully you'll make sense of it. It's pretty easy. You just, you just buy it for 315 and sell it for 333, or whatever the difference is on the prices on the item you're trying out. But for this video it's just those two prices, and then obviously the profit is in between those, so that's what you get for each item. I think a tip that I have for you guys in order to make the items sell or buy through faster is just to slightly undercut when you're buying it or selling it through. Basically whatever you're paying or trying to get it for, what you want to do is just put it a little bit under the price, just to sort of give you a head start over other players who might be trying to do the same item, if that makes sense. So for this video, because obviously I was trying to sell it through for 333k, I'm going to put it down by about 500 GP, because if other players are trying to sell it for that price as well, then obviously there's going to be a bit of competition. But if you do it a bit lower, then you have the advantage and upper hand, I guess, over those guys. And this is obviously optional, you don't have to do this, but it does make the process slightly faster. So as you can see on this item, there's a margin of about 17k per one. So with the buy limit on this item of 10, obviously we have to deduct one because we tested one beginning with, so that means we can make, obviously flip 9 of them, we can make about 150 to 155k on this one item alone, which doesn't sound like much now, and I know that, but obviously when you get the hang of flipping and you're comfortable with it, you can do more than one item at a time, and obviously you can do a bunch of ones that are more expensive, and yeah, just make a bunch of profit like that. So now all you want to do is just wait for them. Flipping involves a lot of patience, a lot of waiting around, so continue with some skilling or something whilst you're doing it. Don't just bank stand, because that gets really boring. But that's the good thing about flipping pretty much. It allows you to sort of gain XP and play the game whilst earning some extra money in the background, so it's really nice. A few tips I want to give to you guys is that once one of your items, or more than one, have come through or whatever, when you're trying to buy them, just sell it back straight away. Don't bother waiting for example, if one of them out of 9 comes through, then sell that one straight away. Don't wait for all 9 to come through, because the profits and of the margins might change, because they change every day and all that stuff. So as soon as one comes through, just try and sell it as soon as possible, just in case, you know, you don't want to lose money on that one. So just sort of sell it straight away to make as much profit as you can. Also remember to check the margins before flipping, because they do change every single day, and joining a flipping FC will also probably be a bit beneficial for you guys, other than just trying to do it yourself. I mean, I don't use an FC because, I don't know, I like doing it myself, but you know, if you're struggling to find some good items in that, then obviously joining an FC is going to be a good idea, and there's plenty of them around. Just, you know, ask some people and they'll give you one. I think Flip Chat 1 is one of them. I'm not too sure if it is anymore, but it was when I was doing it. And my final tip would be that if you're going out somewhere during the day, like school or something like that, then that's like a good time to sort of stack up on items that don't buy through quickly. And this also works overnight obviously as well, so if you're waiting for items that are not coming through, just leave them while you go out and whatever, and hopefully they'll be done by the time you come back. But yeah guys, that's been my 2015 updated flipping guide, and hopefully this clears up all the questions that you had on how to flip and what to do and all that jazz. I try to do the best job I can explaining it without making it too complicated. I know that it's not exactly a simple thing to sort of understand, but once you get the hang of it, it's as easy as pie, and hopefully you get that pretty soon, because I did try really hard in this video for you guys. Like always guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, because that's always appreciated, and I will see you in my next video.